It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
Hold on, we're not.
All right, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
My name is Harold Lee, 342867.
All right, Mr. Lee, my name is Brennan Kelsey. Along with me is Ms. Parolees and Mr. Alvin Roche will be your panel, explain the process to you, read some information to the record, have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
All right, we get back to Harold Lee. DOC number 342867. You're a first class offender, parole billing date 1/21/2015, good time 2/5/2065, full term 7/29/21, 40 to 149 year sentence. Attempted second degree murder and armed robbery. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, would you answer Mr. Roche, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Mr. Lee. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Roche. It's my second time seeing you, and it's a blessing to see you. It's a blessing to see you.
Back in 2017.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we have. Yes, we did.
You're a little nervous.
Yeah.
So sit back.
This is my third time here, and I mean, I'm just telling the truth. It is something, but that's what you learn for when you commit crime. This type of stuff happens. So I learned a great deal from it.
Excuse me, Mr. Roche, I just want to go ahead and read to the record the folks here today. Tyrone Smith, Niasha Lee, Zalna Lee, Renata McCourtney, and Arthur Rhodes, and then Jennifer King is here watching. That's victim. All right. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Roche. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Sit back, relax. We're going to have a conversation. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lee, you're currently 53 years old.
Yes,
you're
sir.
First felony offender.
Yes, sir.
And you had a parole hearing back on December 14, 2017.
Yes, sir.
And you've been incarcerated 32 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, I thought it was 33, but I don't.
Well, let's see.
32? I forgot. I thought it was 32, 33.
Let's see, you were, 1 second, I'll tell you exactly. You were arrested on August 1st, 1991.
Yes, sir, Mr. Roche, that is correct.
And
32. That's 32, Mr. Roche, 32.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the reasons for denying your request back in 2017, you had multiple victims opposed.
Yes, sir.
You had disciplinary issues.
Yeah.
And you had trustee issues. So remind me what the trustee issues were.
With the trustee issues?
Yes.
I was class C at the time. They was asking me to get class A. So I worked diligently, to make it to A. I thank God that I was able to do it, but practice makes perfect. So
How long have you been a trustee? Class A trustee?
I've been class A for 8 months, but I've been class B for 5 years.
Okay.
When they changed my job to working outside the gate, that's when they made me class A.
Good. The other reasons, you had a history of violence, you had law enforcement opposition,
Yes, sir.
and insufficient time served.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So let's see what happened in the last 6 years.
Okay.
I see only 2 programs that you completed between 2017 and 2023. Victim awareness and thinking for a change. Are there any other programs?
Yes, sir. Trauma healing and healing choices, celebrating recovery.
Okay, when did you complete Celebrating Recovery?
I just finished that. They just gave me that certificate a couple of days ago. I just finished that. They just mailed it to me.
So that's why I didn't know about it.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so trauma healing, thinking for a change, celebrate recovery, and victim awareness. Great.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing towards your GED?
Oh, I received my GED in 2012, September the 26th.
According to your master record, you don't have a GED.
Okay.
Mr. Roche,
Yes.
this Warden Falgout. So I just talked to him prior to coming in there. We do have a certificate from James Madison High School, which is an online based in Atlanta, Georgia. And back in 2012, he was approved to go through this course by Warden Peabody, who was deputy over education and such at that time. And he did complete it. And I do have his certificate. So he did not forward that certificate to us to have in his record.
I had that certificate, Warden,
Okay.
but I also have an email from your classification officer last week saying that he did not have a GED and he was dropped from the program in 2012. So
Yeah. But Mr.
Education has no record of it, sir. That's why the classification officer communicated that information to you.
okay. So
The certificate that you see was supplied by you.
yeah, James
Okay, that
Madison High
was,
School.
Harold supplied that to you in his packet. Education here never received it because he never sent us a copy.
okay. So basically that GED has been accepted by the Department of Correction.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Mr. Roche.
Okay, great. That clears up something because I was under the impression that classification had that information when they sent me the email. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You've only had one write-up since 2017. That was in October of 2018.
Yes, sir.
What was the contraband?
Yeah, I was working the 2018 October rodeo and I was trying to stop smoking. So me being a trustee, we went out there and I was surrounded, by a lot of lighters and cigarettes. And I felt bad about it when I received the write-up on my way coming in. So I went to confinement, 30 days, good time, without getting in trouble. They told me that I would be all right. That following week, I went back to work as a trustee, back to the rodeo ground, facing more lighters, more cigarettes, more contraband. This particular time, I found everything, put it in a bag, reported it to my supervisor. He shook my hand and said, "Great job. You should have did this the first time." So I messed up. I will not lie about that. But I stopped since then. Stopped smoking, no more contraband with the cigarettes and lighters, and I've been going straight ever since.
And that has improved your health
Yes, sir.
150%.
Yes, sir.
You're
Yes,
talking to a former smoker, and I stopped in 1973.
Yes, sir.
And the doctor says that it takes 15 years for your lungs to completely regenerate themselves as if you've never smoked before. So you have 10 years
Wow.
left and you'll have clear lungs.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. Thank you.
And
Mr.
I haven't smoked a cigarette since 1973.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's
Okay.
great job. Wow.
Now, what's still the same, Mr. Lee, is that you still have very strong opposition
Yes, sir.
from law enforcement. They have resubmitted their opposition in 2023, and you have opposition from all areas of the legal community. You still have
Okay.
multiple oppositions from multiple victims. One of those victims still has the bullet fragments in her legs.
Yes, yes, sir.
The other
Mr. Roach.
victim has been bedridden for the last 32 years. She is totally disabled. She cannot move her lower or upper extremities. And believe it or not, her parents have been responsible for her daily routine for the last 30 years. Her father had retired and had to go back to work to take care of the medical bills. And we have received letters, multiple letters of opposition telling about the physical, mental, and emotional roller coaster this young lady has been on for the last 32 years. And with that kind of opposition, it's very difficult to understand your request for early release. So tell me about your drug and alcohol addiction. Have you ever used drugs or been addicted to alcohol?
Yes, sir. I used to.
And at what age did you start using drugs?
Very young. Very young, about 14, 15.
What did you start with? What did you start with?
Marijuana,
Because
marijuana, cocaine at a young age. And just being around the wrong people, growing up in the wrong environment in my neighborhood. But since then, I have taken substance abuse, and I made sure that
let me stop you there. Now, you've used marijuana, you've used cocaine.
sir.
Have you
Yes, sir.
used anything else?
Sir.
When's the last time you used any form of illegal drugs?
None.
So you're telling me today that you've not used any illegal drugs, including marijuana, in the last 32 years?
Oh, when I first come to prison, I came from a world of darkness. I'm glad that you rephrased that. I come from a world of darkness. I left darkness and come to the prison. I was in darkness, and I was just lost in darkness, trying to find my way through. And I smoked marijuana, and had a dirty urine. And that was in, I want to say, 1996. That's when I had caught the dirty urine. I was in Oak 2. And I went to the cell blocks. After I went to the cell blocks,
Okay, now, Mr. Lee, is that the last time you used any illegal drugs?
that I didn't use any, not that I know of, Mr. Roche.
Okay, is that the last time, 1996, that you used any illegal drugs?
I didn't. No, sir.
So you've been free of any alcohol or drugs for the last 27 years.
The only one that I remember doing is the marijuana. I'm not sure, but if you says that, Mr. Roche, I agree with you. You know, that's 20,
I'm asking you a question.
27 years ago.
Oh, what I'm saying is, I'm asking the question. The answer is yes or no. Is the last time you used any illegal drugs or alcohol 27 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I was trying to.
Let's talk about your transition plan. You have a transition plan. You're gonna live in Zachary, Louisiana,
Yes, sir.
with your fiance. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you're gonna work in Rosedale, Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about your job in Rosedale, Louisiana.
Well, his name is Mr. Tim Doran. He's a home rental. You know, he owned homes. And by me graduating from horticulture, I love to do landscaping and a lot of outdoor work dealing with plants and trees and ground covers. He would hire me $10 an hour to keep up all his home rentals. And we have his number. We can call him. He's
That's fine. I had the information.
okay.
Just wanted to put it on the record.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so tell me exactly why this panel should vote to release you early when you committed a very egregious crime that the victims are still suffering today. On this particular day when you shot these young ladies, this is not the only crime that you committed, because you committed another crime right before or right after this, within 2 blocks of this crime. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, Mr. Roche.
It's correct. So tell me why I should vote for you today.
Mr. Roche, and to this honorable board, I lived a life of crime. And when I was in Orleans Parish, I went in and out of jail. There wasn't no self-help programs, no programs that I could, enroll into that could help me off the path of doing crime. So since I've been here at Angola, I have enrolled in crime. I have enrolled in classes, self-help programs, and programs that are required before this honorable board to become a better person. But first and foremost, I am very remorseful for my crimes. And I can't express it down from the bottom of my heart. I am very, very remorseful. If I can change the past, I would change the past. I would do anything to change the past. I was young, very immature when I committed crime. And it makes me feel so bad that I look back over my life and the things that I've learned now, I wish I knew back then, because the person that I am now today makes me understand, hey, you're supposed to be the protector, not the predator. So now I have a purpose now. And that purpose is to stop every young boy and girl from committing crime as much as I can. This prison has accomplished in me that I couldn't accomplish. It has accomplished in me, I mean, a rehabilitation that is so unbelievable. And I just want to share with those young men and women out there to stop them from committing crime. If I was granted parole today, you would be proud of me. The man who you see speaking today is not the same person I was 30-something years ago. I am different. My character is different. My tone is different. If I can change the process of what happened in my past, I would. I live with remorse, empathy, disgrace, shame has been my closest companion. Every time I wake up and look in the mirror, that's all I see. The only thing that impels me to do what's right is love. But if
You're going off on a tangent. I asked you, give me a specific reason or reasons why I should vote for you. And you just went off on a tangent. So I want you to answer my question now.
I'm sorry, Mr. Roche. I apologize to the honorable board. If I was, why should you vote for me, Mr. Roche? I'm not the same person I was. 30-something years ago. I have changed in every way possible. I've been doing the right thing as every chance I get. If I can change the past, I'm no longer the same person, Mr. Roche.
And I accept that reason. And I don't think you're the same person. I think you've done very well. I think you've taken the programs. But there's one thing that you can't control. You're not the same person, and your victim is not the same person either.
That's why I know from after thanking for after.
That victim has no children, has never been married, and has never been out to bed for the last 32 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Roche.
And that cannot be overlooked in this process.
I agree 100%, Mr. Roche. As I have taken victim awareness, that's one thing I've learned. The person victimized, it's always right. And the victimizer, it's always in the wrong.
I don't think you're always in the wrong, but you can't discount the pain, the suffering, the emotional stress on the victim and her family.
And I do understand that, Mr. Roche.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Yep, Warren,
Yep, Warren, you have any input for us?
Yes, sir. Like you said, and Mr. Roche is doing a thorough job on his interview. He, since 17, he has had that one write up, but he has continued to move back up. And as he said, for the last 5 years, had his men B, and then in April of 23 was able to get his men A back. So he has moved in the right direction since last seen by this board.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll hear from Tyrone Smith, brief statement.
Yes, sir. I'm Pastor Tyrone Smith. I'm founder of the First 72 Plus. Not only that, but I was coming with a package that said if you were released, Mr. Howard, he was going to be able to stay at our transitional house, and we were going to be able to give him, help him with the wraparound service. But I see he's going to be relocated to Zachary. I heard you say, but on behalf of him, what I say, I don't know him personally, but I know his whole family. We grew up together, and his family is the loving, caring family, and his family really it's hurt to even see him be up there in a situation like that, but he just got caught up in some things that the street lied to us just like it did me and a few other people who found themselves in prison. But after getting a second chance, another chance, I've been out 31 years and without ever having an incident. And I would glad to be here to support and work with Mr. Howard if y'all grant his release. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. Mr. Arthur Rhodes, you'd like to make a brief statement?
Yes, sir. My name is Arthur Rhodes. I drove here about 5 hours because I know Harold Lee. I know him personally. I don't know if y'all can see me. I can see y'all.
Yeah, we see.
Okay, but I drove here personally from Mississippi because in 2003 to 2005, I slept next to Harold Lee. And I witnessed something that showed me that this man has really rehabilitated himself. When I went into the dorm that he was in, nobody was praying but him. I watched him take his own food and witness to God about Jesus Christ. I watched him pray with guys all over the prison. And one thing that really stuck with me, there was a guy that had hurt somebody seriously in his family. And I knew Harold Lee could have done him something. And he asked me what to do. I'm a minister of the gospel. I was an inmate minister up here in Angola. But he asked me what to do. I said, Rock, pray. And the guy came over there. And everybody was expecting Rock to do him something. But Rock walked up to him, Harold Lee, that's what I'm talking about. He walked up to the guy and he hugged him. This guy had hurt a family member. He hugged him and told him, I love you, man, and I forgive you. And that told me a lot about the change that had taken place in this man. So I came here 5 hours to give people a view that they may have never seen. This man has really rehabilitated himself. And I promise, I've gotten out. I've been out 4 years. And I promise anything I could do to help him in this transition, I will do it. Again, I work in Mississippi. We've been communicating ever since I left. And I'm going to do everything I can if he gives him a chance. I believe in all my heart that Harold Lee would never commit another crime. And I believe in all my heart that just like he said, he's going to talk to kids everywhere he goes to tell them about this type of life and what it could lead to. And I'm just begging you, give Harold Lee a chance.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. We're here for Miss Renetta McCourtney.
Good afternoon. I'm Renata McCourtney, and I'm Harold Lee's fiance. Next month will be 4 years that I've known him. He's actually told me a lot about his childhood, a lot about what led him to here and what he's done since he's been here. I've seen and witnessed. He's definitely not the man that was on those papers. True enough, the victims, we definitely send our heart and greatest deepest sympathy and for them, and wish it definitely didn't have to happen for him to get here. But I'm willing to help him do whatever, financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, that he needs to have done. He lives, my home is where he will be. I'm in the process of actually buying the home, so he won't have to worry about being in a bad area. He's with University as rehabilitation counselor serving student. I'm also a sophomore at Baton Rouge Community College as a nursing student. So he won't be bearing no bad influences. I'm not the one to be in no drama, in no trouble or anything like that. He's gonna be on the straight and narrow in order to be in my life. He has to be, and he's exemplified that to me. He has come definitely support for spiritually with my pastor, and also Mr. Arthur. He has connections to be able to help kids in the community with the brighter beginning mentorship program as well. Mr. Tim Durham is my former landlord. When I asked him about, being able to give him a job, he didn't hesitate at all because he know me. So he was like, how long he been there, what he had done. I told him, he said, I signed it. No hesitation with it at all. So given the fact that I can stand here and say and feel good and believe in the Lord that he is a changed man, I have no doubt. So I just ask that you all grant him today, give him a second chance to be the man that we know God have called him to be. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Ms. Harold, you'd like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yeah, I started off pretty nervous. I didn't mean to make, the board upset Mr. Roche just by not answering the question correctly. I'm just kind of still trying to grasp it. I understand the seriousness of my offense. That was early this morning when I knew I was coming to this parole hearing. I woke up to grief, feeling the person's pain, because I've taken victim awareness and I understand. I trade places with those people and I understand. I walked in their shoes. I understand exactly how they feel. As a healthcare orderly, I have worked with patients that was bedridden, paralytics. I wash men in places that I have never dreamed of ever washing a man in my life. I know exactly what she is going through. And it hurts me every time. Every time I think about it, it just hurts me because I know it was wrong. And I never, not one time, all of my achievements and my accomplishments, they don't mean nothing to me. All that I have received here doesn't mean that I will give it all back if I can change that night of what happened. All of this accomplishments, it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean nothing to me because I earned them at the expense of hurting others, and that wasn't right. If I can go back and change that night, I would. I would have stopped that person. I would have been the protector and not the predator. I have a purpose now, and that purpose is to love people, to show compassion towards people, to help people when I see they need help, and to do all that I can to make up for all the harm that I have caused Jennifer Tootie, Darren Hagg, and Mrs. French, innocent people. I do understand that. But this is what drugs and things of that nature will make you do. And I just thank God for just sparing those people alive and nothing worse didn't happen to them. So I just want to just thank this honorable board just for having me. But there's nothing that compared to those people deserving what's right.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your comment. Thank you so much for your comment. It's now fair to vote.
Yes,
Mr. Rocha.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, Mr. Lee, you didn't upset me. If I wouldn't have stopped you, you'd be talking still on that topic. You're very articulate and you're very intelligent. And you were trying to get your point across, but I needed a certain question answered, and you weren't answering that question. So you didn't upset me. I just had to get to the point where we got the information we needed. Mr. Lee, there is no doubt in my mind that you have rehabilitated yourself. You've taken the programs. We have verification that you earned a GED. I have no doubt that you would be a danger to society if we would release you. I think you've accepted what you did, and you have tried to atone for what you did. But Mr. Lee, there's three reasons why Louisiana incarcerates an individual. The first reason is to rehabilitate him, to change his ways, and make him suitable to be a productive member of society. The second reason is isolation. Louisiana wants to isolate the bad guys from the good guys. And the third reason is retribution, to punish an individual for the crimes that he's committed. You have a 149-year sentence. Three counts of that sentence was 50 years, and it was to run concurrently.
Yes,
And
sir.
the other count of your conviction was 99 years, and that was to run consecutively. The judge, in his wisdom, knew the magnitude of your crimes.
Yes, sir.
And very rarely do I see a judge run a sentence consecutively, but he does when it is mandated by the crimes that he committed.
Mm-hmm.
You've only served 22% of that sentence. Very, very rarely does an individual get paroled without serving at least a quarter of that sentence, 25%. So based on express opposition from all the victims who are still mentally, physically, and emotionally affected by this crime, opposition from law enforcement,
Mhm.
and insufficient time served, I'm going to deny your request.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Wise?
Mr. Lee, I'm torn. I really am torn, as well. The victims have been so adversely impacted by your decision. And we have a mandate to, I see a part of our mandate is to see what you've done since the crime.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at what you've done since the crime, you got a good institutional record. The staff speak well of you. You got good, good community support. And it's already been stated that you come from a good family. And you did what the board asked you to do a few years ago. So I'm hopeful for you. My vote is to grant your release to approve resident plan set forth by probation and parole, and then you report weekly to probation parole for the first 3 months upon your release. That is my vote.
All right, you have one vote to grant and one vote to deny. I've obviously listened to what you had to say. I've listened to what everybody's had to say. I've been over the file multiple times, and look at this difficult case. It really is. I mean, none of the decisions that we make are easy. They're all difficult, and we have to consider both sides. We have to consider the victim. We have to consider what you've done. All those things we have to consider. And for me today, I think you're close, but you're just not there. I think that based on the law enforcement opposition, victim opposition, my vote would be to deny your parole, but encourage you to write back. You're close, but just taking everything into totality and consideration. That's my vote for today. So 2 votes to deny, 1 to grant. Today your parole's been denied. Good luck to you.